We top up. And we'll get the show on the road.
Mm-hmm. By the time that sells, it'll be time to go home.
Ah, dear. So, get the show on the road on there.
Why not?
Turn these down just a wee bit. That's better, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. So, 3, 2, 1. Go. We are live, Andy boy.
Oh no.
Huh?
Oh no.
What do you think? Let's carry on.
Ah, sure, it's got a crack in it.
It is alright, buddy. So, just a wee kind of overview of me and Andy and how we met. There's a kind of common friend, Marco, and Marco would basically torture a lot of people to be their friend.
So he doesn't have that anymore.
Because he doesn't obviously have that many friends, Marco. I thought you were one of the boys, Marco. That's why I let you into my circle. I let you into my circle of trust, and then through that carry on, I was led into Andy's life.
God help you.
God help me. Already regret it. But what struck me about Andy was, yes, you know, we're both in the cleaning game, and we're both weirdly enough respected in our chosen fields. But that aside, I think Andy drinks more than me.
Just a wee bit. Just a wee bit.
So I thought to myself, he'll do me. I'll lead him here under the false pretenses that we're actually going to do a podcast, but it's not. That's just a big smoke screen.
Just here to see how much more I can drink than you can.
Just here to see if I've got a healthy challenge on my hands, because ultimately it's not behind the beer and the banter. It's not a podcast. It's just me to get a good, credible drinking partner. And I thought Andy would rise to the challenge.
There's no Buckfast here, so that's where your first mistake was.
No, there's no Buckfast yet.
Buckfast yet.
There's no Buckfast yet. I could get my people to speak to your people, and we could have that organised quite sharp. But welcome Andy.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, buddy. Thank you for coming on. And we were just discussing before we went live there that we're both a wee bit restricted for time today. So we're going to call this episode Foreplay. So
A wee teaser.
this is just a wee quick teaser. You aren't getting the full valley today, everyone. These are just getting a wee bit of foreplay.
Just a tip.
So this is the tips from Andy and Garth behind the beer and the banter. So that's the introduction over, and we're going to get down to it. So basically, the podcast is called Behind the Beer and the Banter because I think nowadays, everybody sees the social media life. They see guys turning up, having a beer on the podcast, and it all looks great. But I can assure you, behind me and Andy sitting here today, having a beer and a bit of crack, is a multitude of fuck-ups.
Plenty.
A scary amount of fuck-ups because that's the nature of it. You can't.
You have to fuck up.
You have to fuck up to learn.
You have to fuck up. If you never fuck up, you never learn.
And it's a, what do you call it? A necessary evil.
Yeah.
You are not going to get from A to B without fucking up. And I suppose that what the podcast is all about is if anybody's on the fence and wanting to have a go at something, don't be embarrassed, ashamed, you know, or don't be held back because of the haters or the naysayers or the critics, because them people have achieved fuck all. That's
That's
why
it. And at the end of the day, it's your life. It's not theirs.
it's not theirs.
Do what makes you happy.
Yeah, and fall 7 times and get up 8. As long as you keep getting up and brushing your shoulders off.
I
And
feel like we're lucky from here.
yeah. But it is. Anybody that's ever decided, like you have a good story how you went from working. Remember you just fucking knocked up your notice. You asked for the time off.
Yeah, asked for time off, couldn't get it, and I was just like, you know what, I've had enough of this. I just need to be out on my own to make my own decisions. And that was basically the nail in the coffin there and then. Taking the notice out, handed it in, and straight away I felt the weight lift right off my chest from then. And yes, you do look back and you do have your hard times. Like everyone does, especially being self-employed, is one of the things where you'll work harder than you've ever worked before. And a lot of people think that whenever you're self-employed, you get an easy life, which is completely wrong.
It's far from it. But that was, hope that inspires someone.
Definitely.
You're sitting employed. You've had a newborn baby.
Yeah.
You ask for an hour off, and then but there's loads of examples like that. How many people out there are asking for a bit of time off? They're being told no. But you just said fuck yes.
I was like, fuck this. I had enough, and I was the end of that. But there was always. I have worked at absolutely everything there is to work at. Like when I left school, like I went through so many jobs, and doing it from one extreme to the next. 1 week I was doing my MBQ, being a mechanic. The next week I was working at Starbucks. There's so many different jobs I've been through, and the whole time going through all that, in my head I was always like, this couldn't be it. I can't just come into a job every day. This is the same thing, day in, day out, repetitiveness. You're stuck where you can't go any forward in a role, or you can't build yourself or anything like that. So to me, I always felt like there must be more.
Yeah.
And that's where I could see the money that I was making, but for somebody else.
Yeah.
And I thought, why can I not do this for myself?
And then, so at what stage did you fall into the cars then?
The cars, well, my dad worked with cars. He was a baller, of course, for as long as I can remember. He died in around young, so he died there about 10 days before my 13th birthday. So I sort of felt within myself that I just wanted to carry that on. And I always had an interest in what he done. So whenever I was 14, I got my first job when I was still in school. Came in alloy wheels for cars in a second-hand dealership. It was only a salary job.
Good one.
10 hour a week.
As a kid?
No, I mean, it was 10 hour a week.
Was that back in the 60s, on there?
That was back in the 50s. I got a tenner on a Saturday afternoon, and I swear, I thought this was permanent.
You probably
I was like, I meant it here.
Yeah.
I used to go out with mates on Saturday night and say, here, I'm going to 10 spot.
Well, what was your treat? What was your treat?
It was a quarter bottle of cool vodka and a 10-pack of Grove Schmitty.
No way.
It was me and the mate.
That was the wee pop-off kind of bottle lid, wasn't it?
Stumpy bottles.
Yeah.
Get them where they asked it. It was 10 for the flavour.
Yeah.
And a quarter bottle of cool was $3.50.
Stop it.
And that was us. We got that. That was every Saturday. And nothing was 14, obviously. We got it. Save on money up.
Say 15?
15 each. And it just made from there.
So that's actually how it started, there's the alloy wheels?
That's how it started. And from there, I just always kept my own car, kept it well, kept my mum's car well. And
You didn't realise it, but you were learning your craft then?
I hadn't a clue. I just enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And then people started coming up to me and saying, here, you're doing a really good job of your own. Can you take me into it someday? And I said, yeah, no problem. And I didn't charge anyone for it at this point. I was just doing it because it was
Thoroughly enjoyed it.
It was just
satisfying?
Somebody asked me to do it. I thought, yeah, no bother, drop it around and I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
And right up until maybe 17 is when I started to take it a bit more serious because there were so many people asking me to do it for them. And and it was starting to take up nearly every weekend that I had.
Yeah.
So I sort of backed it off a wee bit and just done what I wanted. When you're 17, you have your own life to live too.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
But that's a testament to your character that you were doing it for free.
yeah.
Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
at that point,
Because there's people out there who would be anything for
at that
anybody for
point,
free.
I was getting a tenner a week, and I thought I was me living my life.
Aye,
You know?
you arrived.
At that age, I was like, every day, Mum, I have tenner here. and it wasn't until I got a bit older and I started taking things more serious. At the time where I first went self-employed, I had been through maybe 12 to 15 jobs from leaving school. And at this point, I was driving a lorry. I was driving lorries when I was maybe 22. And
Long distance or local? Or?
local, it was all over here and down south. I've done a few crossings over Scotland and England, but nothing major. And then there were so many people asking me to do their cars. I thought, you know what? I've got enough work here to keep me going for a few months, just doing my cars. So I thought, sure, I'll just give it a go. At least then I'll be working for myself.
Yeah.
And risk it. Everybody was telling me, don't do it.
Yeah.
You know, you're in a good job, you're getting a steady wage, why throw all that away?
I know.
And I was like, but I can always go back to it.
Absolutely.
If it doesn't work out, that job is still there.
I guarantee you, everybody that comes on this podcast that are self-employed faces that.
Yeah.
It's because I faced it. It came in the like my parents were very much like easy tiger, easy tiger, and but to me it was like well there's different personalities where people are averse to risk and some people are not. It wasn't a risk to me, whereas you know like you may have faced with peer groups and parents and I faced it too. It's like it was like I might have well have said look I'm going to jail here for 5 years.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't get my head around the reaction I was getting from people. I was, you know, it was just like genuinely like, you know, I told them I'm going to jail.
Yeah.
You know, no, I think I could make a go of this on my own.
Go to jail.
I don't like.
That's fun.
I know. It's like I don't like getting up Monday mornings. I don't like it. You know, I like my weekend. I don't like getting up Monday. If I was self-employed. And when I say I don't like getting up, I don't like getting up at 7 and having to be in work for 8. But if I'm self-employed and I can decide I'm going to go start at 11 on a Monday, you know, when I was younger, you're up now with kids anyway.
Yeah.
But that to me was worth, see if someone had offered me 50 grand a year, but to be up at 7 and then work from 8, and I'm in jail basically till 5 and then home, I'd be like, nah, I'll work for 10 grand.
Yeah.
But I get to decide when I start and when I stop. You know, I get to decide when I go on holiday or what I want to do at the weekend. I get to decide that.
Yeah.
I'd rather work for 10 grand a year, but make my own decisions, than work for 50, 100, and basically be in a glorified jail cell.
Yeah, I know what you mean. To me, whenever I was just getting into a job, like I know I have friends there who are in the same job when they left school, and they have the potential there to run what they're doing.
Yeah.
But they've no interest.
No interest.
They're just happy to work, get their wage, which is fine. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
They're just happy to get their wage and go home and live their daily life. But for me, it's a roundabout. You know,
It's a hamster
there's
wheel.
nothing changing there at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
And that wrecks me. I need variety in my life.
I love the variety.
Yeah.
I need the variety as well. So I like to be able to make my own decisions. It basically boils down to freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom. The freedom to, like for example, you know, I'll clean carpet and upholstery like you do, but it's nice getting a wee tile job in on it.
It is something different.
It's different, and you get to use your different chemicals, you get to use your different tools, you get to use your different machines, you know, and then it's always nice getting a wee sofa the next day. See, there's definitely different personality types. You know, we're definitely not all the same. Do you know what I mean? I've done it when I was younger. Used to work in factories. But I didn't care because it was just for beer equipment at the weekend.
Oh.
And then I got to about 20, and all my mates were working away, and they were getting like the hire purchase on the new car. And I was like, but that's you definitely locked into that job for 3 years, 4 years. I'm like, you know, this is okay, but it's not for me. And I knew it wasn't for me because I wouldn't commit to anything, because this isn't for beer tripping
Why
smile.
not? But were you scared to do that in case you couldn't keep up to the payments, or were you just scared to be?
No, it was a case of I only like these jobs because I get money for beer.
Right, okay.
You know, enjoyment, the cinema, holidays, weekends away, you know, concerts.
Yeah.
I don't mind working these jobs that are boring and mundane because I get these things,
Yeah,
but I'm not going to do them to pay off a car
yeah,
because then I'm locked into the shit job.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? I can
Okay.
I can job hop, and I might give up a few weekends out, but I wouldn't job hop when I had responsibilities and car payments.
that's it. Well,
So I felt the trap.
yeah,
That's the trap. That's how they get you. You know, you think, fuck, I'll work here, I don't care about it. And then boom, you're locked into this job to pay the mortgage, or you're locked into this shitty job to pay the car, and then that's it. Life's over.
that's it.
There's no. You don't make the decision for yourself. There's no. There's no variety. That's what. Because I used to work in a call center too. Talk about soul destroying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, that was for me. To
That's,
go out.
that's one job I could never do.
Mate, it's just like this here, right? But somebody else controls how many calls you take. You can't stop them. So say you phone someone and you're trying to sell protection on a credit card, and they grill you. How'd you get my number? Don't be phoning back here. I have enough on my plate. I don't need these fucking cold call shit. And they really rattle your cage.
I'm that person.
Yeah, and they really rattle your cage.
Yeah,
And they hang up on you.
yeah.
You don't get time to compose yourself to take the next call.
Is it just straight on to the next one?
You've no control of that. Straight on to the next one, and you can, and it's just kind of imagine you 3 kids at home,
Yeah.
and the mortgage and the car payments and
Yeah.
trying to scrape a holiday for the kids,
Yeah.
and that was your job.
Yeah.
You know,
that'll be hard work.
that's what, and you're there 9 hours every day. You know, so if there's anybody out in a call centre, tune in to me in Foreplay Andy.
Foreplay army, I haven't called that.
And we will educate you on how to get the fuck out of there, like, and start your own dream, like. But it won't be easy, but I can assure you, it won't be any harder.
No. The mistake that I made was I think that I jumped too quickly. The first time I went self-employed,
Yeah.
I just jumped.
When did you know that?
Now,
Ah.
because I was self-employed up until COVID, and then we were trying to buy a house, so I went back into employment to keep the pay slip steady.
Yes.
Plus, whenever COVID hit, the job that I went into was a key working role.
Yes.
So we didn't close through COVID at all.
Key worker.
So that kept me, it was peace of mind knowing that I wasn't going to be out of work
Yes.
through COVID. I was always going to have a constant wage coming
Yeah.
in.
But security.
Yeah, so whenever COVID ended and stuff, when we were able to get our mortgage and the rest of it, then it was in the back of my head that I need to be back out on my own again.
Yeah.
But this time was different because I wanted to get my client base built back up again. The last time I started with absolutely nothing and just built it from the ground up. I didn't have a machine to start with. I remember walking about with my wee crate of all mechanicals and Lucozade bottles.
No
You
way.
know, cleaning my first car and all. And
You
whereas
were driving though.
I was driving back then, yeah.
Yeah. What was the wee crate? Like just
Wee milk crates. Used to get
Oh,
back
wee
in the
milk
day
crate?
with milk balls in them.
and then you had your chemicals and then you topped them
Just
up
had my
like
chemicals and I just top them up and Lucozade bottles with the gold on top.
and your crate.
And my crate and my ground and done those.
Brilliant.
But now looking back, with the money that I made throughout my full-time job, I was able to buy the equipment that I needed
Yeah.
to start off properly this time I went self-employed.
Yeah.
So my advice would be to build yourself up, don't just jump head first straight into it.
Yeah.
Make a plan
Yes.
and get the materials that you need. Start getting word about that you're going to be taking the next initial step.
Yeah. Almost like take
Yeah.
ribbons before
Yeah.
you make that leap of faith.
Yeah, and like if
Keep
you're,
your
if
job
you're
for security.
if you're just doing this as a weekend thing, say you're booked up for the next 2 months
Yeah.
on weekends,
Yeah.
don't think in your head, I'm busy enough to go out on my own.
Yes.
Because you're not. Because
Yeah.
as soon as you cut out your Monday to Friday job, then all that 2 months of work that you have on weekends now becomes 2 weeks of work.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then after the 2 weeks, you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs thinking,
Because
how am I getting my next wage in?
Because what people don't realise, whether you're a handyman, a car, detailer, a carpet and upholstery boy, you might be the absolute best at your craft. But see, what people don't realise, another major factor is marketing and sales. See, unless you also have the confidence and a little know-how on how to spread the word that you're very, very good at your job. And then another thing is, when the people get in touch with you, you have to have that a little bit of professionalism and sales understanding to be able to convert those leads.
That's it.
Because I was the same. I just thought once upon a time, sure, I'll deliver thousands of leaflets. I don't care. You deliver thousands of leaflets when you're sitting there and your Nokia 3210 ain't ringing.
Yeah.
And then your confidence and your knowledge.
Exactly.
I thought that was it. All I had to do was deliver leaflets.
Yeah, I was the same. I done leaflet jobs, I done it when I was sitting in the house thinking to myself, like, what am I doing wrong here?
Yeah.
I've done it and my phone hasn't rang, like what's going on? And it was in that moment I had to think, what can I do here to bring people in?
Yeah.
And most of the time, see when someone first messages or calls me or something straight away, I know my customer. I know already straight off the bat whether that person's going to book in or whether they're not. And you're going to get that. You're going to get people who's going to ask you, how much is it to do X, Y, and Z, and you give them a price and say no, or they don't write back. And then that's when you start to question yourself. Am I too dear?
Yeah.
Am I not dear enough? Am I doing the job efficiently enough?
Have I done a bad job and they haven't mentioned it to me, but they share it with their neighbours?
You think all sorts goes on.
And it's being able to pull yourself out of that, and rinse and repeat, and go again. You could be awesome at your job, your craft you've chosen to do, but if you can't market yourself and manage yourself in the not the bad times, but you've done it about in the rain all day and delivered 5,000 leaflets and got one call.
Yeah.
And then it didn't really go well.
That's it. Like my first leaflet job was actually pretty recent, and I was shitting it.
Yeah.
See
all that psychological battle.
I remember I was sitting in my van with a handful of leaflets going,
what the fuck am I doing?
I feel like a postman here. I like, this isn't me. I'm not somebody to go around.
And then you think that they're going to come running out of the house and tell you to shove the leaflet up your hole?
Well, that's exactly what happened.
Fuck off.
I swear. Like, I got like 10 doors in,
no
10
way.
houses in, and I was just putting them through the letter boxes. And I came to this house, and the next house I was going to, I seen the guy pulling in this drive, and I thought, happy days. I'll maybe catch him here as he gets getting out of the car.
Yeah.
But secretly inside, I was thinking, hopefully he goes into the house before he sees me, and then I don't have to interact with him. I can just slip it in through the letterbox.
Yes.
So I came, and he waited on me until I got to his driveway, and I went to step 1 foot in it.
Yeah.
He just cut me in the bum with a gap. What's this
Bastard.
shit? I was like, sorry?
Bastard.
What is this shit you're bringing to my door?
Stop
And I
it.
was like, listen, it's just my services that I provide if you're ever interested in anything like that.
Yes.
He goes, what is it? I guess it's a range from carpet cleaning to upholstery cleaning. There's tile and grout cleaning on there. There's detailing. There's training. There's product sales. There's anything at all. And if you ever need anything done, I'll be happy to give me a shout.
Yes.
And he went, get that fucking shit away from my door, and don't come back and put that shit through my letterbox. Who the fuck do you think you are? And I was that close.
Downing him.
Just if I wouldn't have hit him, like, who would have stuck ahead of him? But I was very, very close to losing the bat with him.
Yeah.
I can be very short-tempered at things like that.
Yes, and rightly so. He was begging for it. He was begging for you to say something.
I think he just had a bad day.
Yeah.
And I was the first person there for him to take it out on.
Yeah.
And I just turned and walked away and thought, do you know what? That's my leaflet day's done for today.
Yeah.
And I got back in the van and left. And I was like, that really shook me. And
rightly so.
I felt like going back to the guy and saying to him, You know, you don't know what's going on in anybody else's life. You just know somebody
yeah, totally.
And no, I'll never do an only for job again. That's me done. No,
well, it won't get any worse than that.
No.
So ultimately, you probably got it out of the way early. You know, if anything, you should have pushed on, knowing.
Stuck your feet in them.
Well, you know, we can talk about we can talk about this, you know, off camera. But no, ultimately, it ain't ever going to get worse than that.
No, definitely not.
You should have soldiered on, knowing that you got the worst out of the way early. Do you know what I mean? But here's the thing. Credit to you, because you adapted, you overcame it, and you got your fucking work and your business and your profit and your money another way. Whereas a lot of people facing that,
they curl up inside themselves.
Dead.
Yeah.
Game over. Not just, I'll not do leaflet drops, we'll try something else.
Yeah.
Game over. Dead. Never mentioned therapy.
Yeah, man, that's it. If something doesn't work, go for it from a different angle.
Adapt and overcome.
You know, try something else, because eventually it will work.
You'll find your rhythm, you know, because anybody that enjoys something will go further than another man that doesn't enjoy it. You know, so someone doing leaflet drops versus someone that doesn't like doing leaflet drops, deliver 10,000 a week.
Yeah.
Somebody that doesn't enjoy doing leaflets, there's no point pursuing it, because you're only going to deliver 20 a week.
No, and they'll throw them in the van.
And you'll throw them, you know what I mean? You'll pay for them, but money you haven't got, and you'll not deliver them. So just draw a line in the sand. That's not for me.
Yeah.
And then I'm a great believer in Audible. So I'll be driving about all day working, and I'll listen to books on marketing.
So I can't do that.
You see what I mean? So you're never going to listen to as many books as me.
No, I tried it. I can't do that.
You know what I mean? So again, I could probably go out and leaflet drop all day. So that would be, like, say, my chosen, you know, marketing kind of strategy. Whereas you couldn't listen to as many books as me per day.
No,
do you know what I mean? So
I listened maybe the first 2 chapters, and then go back to that.
Go back to that. I know. Whereas I'm now turning it up and all. You know. But again, if anybody listening takes anything away from the last 5-10 minutes there, be good at your job, yes, but be great at whatever your chosen marketing narrative is, whether it's, you know, social media, even putting ads in the local paper. There's a real skill to that, like, do you know what I mean? Knowing how to frame and structure an ad in your local paper.
I think social media is more taken over now.
Well, it's free.
Yeah, it's
you
free.
know, it can make or break you, but ultimately it is free. So you're off to a winner there. But again, you need to know how to, you know, we're in a good position because all we have to do is put it before and after.
You need to know how to present yourself. To me, it's not just about before and after. To me, it's your personality. Whenever you meet the person, like, for instance, if I'm out and I do this, if I'm out and I'm cleaning a sofa for someone, and I go in and there's basic water stains around it.
Yes.
You know, and they're saying, listen, I've tried to clean this. I've put it happened the other day. I usually use damp cloth. That damp cloth leaves a water line.
Yep.
Afterwards.
Yep.
So just for me, I say to that person, listen, I have a wee bottle of stuff for you in the van.
Yeah.
I'll mix it up, leave it with you. If that ever happens again, tell them how to use it. Tell them how to deal with the watermarks if they spill a drink or anything on it. And I'd say, listen, I'll leave that with you. And they love that.
Yeah.
And you know, work like that. If you're nice to people, people will be nice back to you. You do nice things will happen to you.
Absolutely.
So it's all about, to me.
You reap what you sow.
Yeah.
You
to
know,
me, it's all about your attitude, your personality, your customer service.
Yeah, and women love a freebie. And they love free chemicals.
Not again.
But that's a nice wee, like, marketing tip.
Yeah.
Marketing, you know, trick of the trade. I'd be the same with deodorizers.
So you carry a bottle of Brute in the van with you?
I carry my Old Spice, you know, in the van, like. But say I get a job and the baby has spilt the baby milk, or the cat is peed, you know, blah blah blah, and they just cannot get rid of that smell, because ultimately, as good as Febreze is, you know, it's only a perfume.
Yeah.
You know, whereas
It's easier getting around the cat. You know.
it's just around a cat and get a dog.
Yeah.
I'm a dog person, like, you know, I can arrange for the cat to be.
No more cat piss.
No more cat piss, yeah. It'll be there, but we can get rid of the cat. But I always, because the deodorizer I have, it kills the enzymes. It's not just a perfume, it fucking kills.
What are you using?
It's the Pro 10 stuff.
Oh, the one with the yellow label? What is it?
Yeah, it's actually smoke and
Smoke and
odor.
odour.
It's
Yeah.
a neutralizer, I think, as opposed to deodorizer.
I bought that one myself there recently.
Honestly, I got a phone call one time, Denadri Hotel, the housekeeper, manager, bride, in the night before,
Cat pissed on it.
cat pissed on her. No, she vomited all over the place.
Oh, you're no way.
Right, now she didn't mention it. So the bride went into the bridal suite, vomited everywhere, got up the next day, all smiles and, you know, fucked off. Housekeeping team went in just to turn the place over for the next bride coming in.
Husband thinking, what's wrong with her? What have I done wrong?
Well,
Maybe
will he make it used to it? Got up the next day, she left, didn't mention to the hotel that she vomited everywhere. Housekeeping team went in because the new bride was coming in at 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Cleaned the place all up, but fuck, could they get rid of the smell? I was sitting down, I'd just done a job, and I nipped into the house and was having a bit of lunch. The phone goes, done at the hotel. Me, yes, very good, okay. She says, can you get rid of the smell? I was like, yeah, no bother. No, can you get rid of it now? I'm like, she says, we have a bride coming at 3. This was like 12 o'clock.
Hang on, he's up the road.
I was like, I said, an old fella, like, I was like, you know, it's going to cost big money here, like, big money, like. No, I didn't say that, like.
Hang a magic tree. You like that?
Put a magic tree on the door handle.
I think I hang off 2 lampshades. That should be enough.
Double up, get the black one.
Yeah.
But I was like, look, right, okay, no bother. I had another job to go to, but I just moved it forward a wee bit because I know this stuff's fucking brilliant. So flew down. I was in Bangor, flew down, and then at the hotel, been to the bridal suite, bing bang bosh, and then as you done, I just said, look, give me a wee trigger spray bottle. I says, I can only do so much here in an hour. I said, but little and often, you know, until the bride comes. So I give them some, topped it up, and left it with them. But I do that for everybody. Let's say baby milk or you know, whatever. But yeah, vomit killed it. And that bride coming in, getting married that day, didn't know anything that was
She knows now.
behind the scenes. But she knows now.
What was that chunk of my slipper?
That wee chunk on the pillow. But this stuff happens all the time. But you think how many products we've gone through define the product,
Loads.
the holy grail.
The amount of products that are sitting in my cupboard that I will never touch again.
Yeah, but you have to test.
Yeah.
You have to see if the word on the street is
What's right for you.
you know. And I'll never ever use anything else now. Like I've like you, I've fought everything, thinking that there's something better or there's something
Just
that I'm missing.
on that, like, there's back to the cars again. Like, whenever we were doing the cars, growing up, there's all of them. Everybody used back in the day, you know.
Yeah.
And there were so many products coming out that we were buying loads of stuff. I still have loads and loads of stuff sitting there that I'll never ever use.
No.
So at the minute I actually do training as well.
Yes.
Train people who are coming up wanting to be detailer and
The
stuff.
trainer's trainer.
Trainer, alongside a guy in Bangor, Mark Leddy,
Yes.
polished and waxed there, and we actually started up the training days on that basis of we have bought that many products over the years.
You're saving people time,
There's
effort,
people
money.
who come on there, we have everything there.
Yeah.
And it's the same with the band.
Yes.
So many stuff, they come and they try and they learn and they go away and have the good groundwork already set up.
Yeah, you saved years and a fortune.
Yeah.
But have you any training days coming up, or what way is that scheduled?
We've got a foundation day coming up in August. That's for people who are just, you know, wanting to start.
Day one car cleaning, day one car
cleaning,
wash.
yeah, it's broke down right to the basics from starting to wash the car properly. We're just scratches and swirl marks as such. right through the drying method, and we'll bring it right through the machine polish in a car to the lowest standard, and bring it back up to a pretty decent standard. And
How much would one of those training courses start from?
foundation is from 75 per person. That's for the day.
Stop it.
With lunch provided.
Come
I make
on.
the sandwiches for it. So even
Jesus.
how do you get on with that?
Like, cause you think about it, like, there's good money in car hauling and car
There is.
detailing, right?
There is.
So you think these people, not that there's, I mean, I'm not knocking it, it just wouldn't be for me.
Yeah.
University. How much tens of thousands of pounds and years and years and years of your life to turn around and maybe get a 20, 30, 40, 50,000 pound a year job?
I know.
Whereas you turn up 75 quid and you've the confidence to.
That's your groundwork. That's your
Yeah.
groundwork done. Like I left school. I left school with nothing.
Yeah.
You know, like I have friends there who left school, went on to uni, have degrees, masters, everything, and they're working in Tesco's.
Yeah.
You know, and I left school with nothing. I'm working on my own, and I'm happier in my life than what they are. And they've, in my head, I can see what they're trying to do, but
Yeah.
there isn't enough jobs out there for those people. You know.
It's kind of like it's the ugly picture. It's
Oh.
kind of
You
society.
hate to say it to them, like, but you're thinking.
Society's kind of like from the government down have kind of manipulated that narrative, and with the greatest of respect, people that go down that road, cool, and it works to a certain degree. But how common is it to see someone stacking shelves in Asda with a degree
Yeah.
and a lot of debt?
That would crack me.
That would break me.
It would.
I'm the kind of guy that, you know, gets the hire purchase on the sofa for 4 years,
Yeah.
doesn't let the kids sit on it for 4 years, because could you imagine paying the sofa and it's racked and you have to buy another one? You're paying 2
Have
sofas.
to pay somebody else to go out and sort out.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, but imagine going to university and having all that debt, and then genuinely not being able to get a job in your chosen field. And with the greatest of respect too, a lot of those degrees are in subjects that are like, can you do it? What subject? What? Are you
Yeah.
serious? Where, how come? And then you're treated up, spat out into the real world. And my argument there was, you can go to.
You don't have to have all these qualifications to make something out of yourself.
No, you can go do a local course off a local guy for 75 quid, and then you can go knock out cars confidently.
Yeah.
How much would you charge for a basic car volley?
Me, personally,
Well, just, I know you'd get a lot more.
I would charge starting from 1,500.
Yeah, yeah. But Joe Bloggs, who hasn't got that experience and delivers that
I
detail.
wouldn't know, like there's guys there.
50 quid.
There's guys that range from 50 quid right up, you know.
You know, for a good car volley. So
Yeah.
you say you do 2 a day, 75 time course, and you're earning £100 a day,
Yeah.
or 600 a week.
Yeah.
Do we work Saturdays then? No, you don't do salaries?
Try not to.
Well, my wee missus, Tammy's a barber, so she works Saturdays. So I kind of, I'll work a Saturday in, but
Yeah.
I take the Monday off, because she takes the Monday off. But yeah, it's just, there's other ways.
There is.
There's other ways, like,
There's easier ways.
you know, and the old saying of money and muck, like,
It depends. Like, there's no point going out. There's no point going out to a job that you hate. That's what wrecked me about going out, and I had so many jobs because I got bored easy.
yeah.
And if there's something that I see somebody doing, if there's a trade that I see somebody doing, I get fascinated by it, and I think, how do you do that?
Yeah.
So I will go and take a course and I will learn that trade.
Yeah.
And then after I finish that trade, I'll never look at it again. But now I know how to do it.
Do I do it? I'm the same. What I'll do is I'll see something, I'll be fascinated with it. And once upon a time we didn't have this option, and we're all blessed to have it. I'll do YouTube tutorials.
I can't watch YouTube.
No.
I never watch YouTube now.
No.
Never.
I'm telling you, see even your car detailing, you know, YouTube, and you'll find the guy that you really like.
Loads of guys watch that, and I can honestly say I've never watched YouTube very well.
No.
No. The
So
only thing I watch
you
YouTube
find
for
that-
is like how to disassemble this
Yeah.
something.
So you just find, can you hear me? No?
Yeah, I can still hear you. Yeah.
So you just find somewhere that actually does a physical
So-
course?
whenever I took it in, say for instance, barbering, you were saying your missus is a barber.
Yeah.
For a long time I always thought, I'd love to know how to cut hair. So I have a friend who owns a barber shop in Green Island. That's Harry's Barbers. And I messaged him one night and I was like, Harry, I really fancy this. So he took me 2 nights a week in the evenings and trained me up how to cut hair. After that I was like, I really enjoyed that. And for a time, I probably still would do it as a job, but I was just fascinated by it. I just loved. I was always in my head thought, I just want to know how to be able to do this.
And so you found a fella that could do
There's a
it?
friend I worked with him years and years ago.
Not barbering, no.
Yeah.
Oh,
Me and him used to work together in a factory.
yes.
Machine operating.
Yeah, before. And then he decided at some point to go do the barbering
he
thing.
He opened up a barber shop in Green Island and Farquhar.
So he's 2 shops now.
He has 2 shops now.
So he started off in a factory, he said, right, enough of this jazz.
Not fast,
I'm going to follow my wee dream.
Strength to strength.
Yeah.
And I got talking to him again, but lost it. Well, out of contact for a few years. And then I got in contact with him and I was like, you know what, I fancy this. So he brought me in, he trained me up, showed me how to do everything, bought all my stuff. I was down there and I loved it.
And how do you call him?
Harry's Barbers in Green Island.
Harry's Barber in Green Island.
Yeah.
Might get you on the show, Harry. I love your story, man. Love your story.
Harry's a very good one. He actually has his own podcast as well.
Brilliant.
Um,
And then did you decide not to?
I decided not to pursue it.
You just loved it. You fancied it.
I just
Had to go
I
at
still
it.
have an interest in it, yeah. Still have an interest in it. But even the likes of not recently, but I
Yes.
used to go to the gym
Ah,
and really took an interest in it too. And I thought, you know, I'm paying. I think it was at the time it was £25 per session for a PT,
private.
as well as a gym membership.
Wow.
And in my head, I was like, you know, I'm going to this guy maybe 5 times a week here.
What?
Yeah. I was
Were you tanked
No, I wouldn't say it was tank. No, I just
on the roids?
no fucking But I just like to go. We're leading up the holidays.
Yes.
Yeah, and this would have been in there 6 in the morning, an hour banged out, £25 each. There you go, no problem.
Yeah.
As well as the £30 a month on top of that gym membership.
Was he
Yeah.
good though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was dead on. So then I started thinking to myself, you know, why would I be paying this money for somebody to show me what I could know myself? You know what I mean? So I went and I done the PT course. That's your class. I want to get around those therapies here. So I went and learned the PT course. So now I have all intentions of going back to the gym. But I know that when I do go, I'll not have to pay that £25 per session for someone to train me, whereas I'd be able to be confident enough to go in there and do everything that I know myself.
I'm the same with marketing.
Yeah.
I look at these companies and they're generating, say, 1,000 leads a month for 25 carpet cleaners, and I'm like, that's fucking brilliant. I says to myself, but I want to be the guy that can generate 1,000 leads a month
Yeah.
on my own,
Yeah.
because what happens if this company decides I only take on 25 carpet cleaners, I'm cutting things down, and I suppose I don't want to be, what would you call it, when the day comes where I can't do something.
Yeah.
Like imagine everything was brilliant, but the marketing company decided that we're putting our prices up, and 100 leads a month we're giving you, or we need them, we're getting more money for them off another client, and bang, game over. I suppose I'm motivated by fear.
Yeah.
The fear that I can't do that, so I'm fucked. So that motivates me
To be able to do it yourself.
to be able to do it myself.
Yeah.
Because the fear, but ultimately it's being let down. Because I used to have guys who used to go out and work with me, and everything would be great, and then you'd wake up one day and say there was me and another fella, I'd book say 5 jobs a day, and you know, like me and you do have to wait 3 weeks sometimes. So I'd have 5 jobs a day for 3 weeks, and that's
Yeah.
brilliant. Me and another fella, life's good, and then he doesn't answer his phone one day.
And there's 5 jobs not being done.
Well, no, that's me having to honour 5 jobs myself.
So you're doing 10 jobs that day.
So I'm having to, well, it would be 5 a day, me and him, you know, but if I was out on my own, I'd only do 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So then one day I was trying to get him, and I was also late for my job, which that's just a no-no. It's a non-negotiable. If I say I'll be there, hell or high water, I'll be there.
I was like, whenever you said to me, be here for 2 o'clock, and I was over 2 and you were late. Where are you? I'm coming.
Coming, mate. I'm getting your beer tap sorted. But no, I phoned this wee woman, and I basically lied to her. I says, look, love, I'm stuck in traffic, but I'm coming. I wasn't.
You were really, I think you were like,
I was.
hello.
Is it me? No, I was basically being fucked about myself. So someone decided not to go to bed that day, and wouldn't answer the phone to me that day, and I couldn't believe it. So I pursued the phone call, pursued knocking the door. I was like, come on, fuck, like, are you serious? So that was the end, and that happens all the time. But me being me, if I have 5 jobs booked in, I'm going to honour them. But did I want to do 5 jobs that day? No. But and then that's when I just decided, you know what? I'll do it my fucking self.
Yeah.
And then you just get to that stage. It's like,
just having the trust to bring someone else in.
Yeah. Well, I'm again, my stupid personality. I trust everybody.
Yeah. Well, I did.
You learn, unfortunately.
I learned the hard way. I brought a guy in and sort of I seen him as what I was at the very start.
Yeah.
And he was trying to build himself up and make something out of it. And I thought, you know what, I can help this kid.
Yeah.
I did do that.
Yeah, and then he fucked
until
off.
I caught him taking my clients out of my diary. Bringing them and then undercutting me and taking the work off me.
Yeah.
And that was the end of it for me, yeah.
I'm telling you.
From then, I found it very, very hard to let anybody get close.
Yeah.
Work-wise.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I hate to say it, but it's more common than we know.
It is.
It's really more common. So I remember having a chat actually with a fella. He was a painter and decorator, right? And this actually happened on the job, right? So, painter and decorator, well established, fucking 30 years. Had a fella helping him, right? Fella was fucking downstairs painting and he was upstairs wallpapering and this kind of thing, right? And if it hadn't have been for the fact that the guy that he was doing the work for, he fucking went to school, I knew him 40 years, like, come upstairs and says to him, do you know the fella downstairs is actually offering to do all this cheaper? On the fucking job.
Why he was there.
Why he was there?
Some nightmare, man,
Fucking brass doesn't even come into it, like. And it's more common than you think.
It's become a lot more common, I think, since lockdown.
Yeah.
The reason being is because there were so many people that were out of work at that time.
Yeah.
They were like, I'm gonna do this for myself.
And that's fair game. That's fair enough.
The reason I think that is because like my partner's she's a beautician and she has her own place.
Yes.
And she had, you know, I remember her telling me whenever she came out of lockdown, the amount of people that had built a wee shed in the back.
Yeah.
And they're all doing it from home now.
Yeah.
You know, it's hurting the small businesses themselves.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I get that. Ultimately, I have a friend who does house removals, right? And I go back 20 years. It's like a second generation kind of family house removal thing. But whenever I used to be around at the family home and stuff, I would see him on the phone with other house removal companies, you know, giving them work or asking them did they fancy this, did they want that. I thought that was the oddest thing ever. Do you know what I mean?
Giving other people your work?
Yeah. And I was like, you know, because I don't know if it's just me or it's kind of like a common belief that, you know, it shouldn't work like that.
Yeah.
You do the work, why don't you do it? Why you give it to another? You know. But it's kind of like the other day there, your woman looking the rug done.
Yeah, and you pass on the
I give it to you.
Yeah.
And I was like, as much as I want to do it, and as much as I want the money, it doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
My plans, my schedule, my locations, it doesn't work. So it was fucking a blessing that I could say to that woman, thank you for getting in touch. I can vouch for this guy, and I know that it'll be done at the right price,
Yeah.
at your convenience, and it'll be quality. And I've the confidence to get in touch with Andy for you.
Yeah.
I can't do it, love. And that's how it works.
It is. It's like Marco there set that group chat up on WhatsApp, and there's a few of us in it, and it's like Kevin from KMA there as well.
Yeah.
He's another one that me and him would keep in touch during the week, and
Yeah.
he has sent me a few jobs that he couldn't make,
Yeah.
and it's great, you know, to have that relationship with people who you haven't even
Quality.
met. And that's like, you haven't even met these guys,
No.
you know, but
But you've confidence in them.
you've got the trust there that,
They're going to turn up.
yeah,
They're not going to stick the arm
you
in,
want to do it right.
and it's going to be done right.
Yeah.
And I know those principles. That's why I think that's why we're all in the group. None of us are there to
Just take a hand at each other.
take a hand out of each other, like. But none of us are there to, you know. I hate using the word, but it's the only way to label some people parasite.
Yeah.
Some people are genuinely only turning up to take, and I don't get it, like.
No.
I mean, in all walks of life, not even, you know, fuck me.
There's enough work.
There's guys that we know, we've probably been friends fucking 40 years with, and wouldn't buy you a pint.
Not me, like, I'm not 48.
But yeah, it's just human nature. I've always been like no, I was going to say giver, but I thought, but no, but it is good to be part of that wee group, and hopefully get the rest of the lads on, and then maybe someday we'll get all of it, but maybe need a few new mics or something. I don't know how it would work. Imagine all the boys here, like all the.
In this heat, if there was some mega bodies there,
bring your tripods, boys.
you need to.
You know, we'll all just sit here with our tops off.
Shorts, mankinis, crocs.
Couple of mankinis. But yeah, it's like all of us are busy,
Which is good.
but it's the same principles. Don't stick the arm in. Quality work, and fucking turn up. Just fucking turn up.
See, most people I go into the minute do jobs for, it's because the last part they've already booked someone and they haven't appeared.
Turn up.
Yeah.
I'd be mortified.
The amount of people who says to me, that last guy never showed. I'm like, why not?
Yeah. How many of your customers have you wandered past in Asda? And I know that I can walk past them, right? Knowing that we're going to have a wee continued chat from the couple of hours I spent in their house. I would hate to be the guy that walks past them, knowing that I overcharged them, made them wait 4 weeks, and then done a shit job. After not turning up the first time. I don't want to be that guy, like.
No.
Who the fuck wants to be that guy?
Word travels fast.
Very fast.
You're only as good as your last job.
Yeah.
You know?
Who the fuck wants to be down there through Asda with the missus and the kids and a person over there looking at you thinking, you fucking scoundrel.
Very, very easy. It's far easier to get a bad reputation than it is to get a good one.
Well, it takes years to build it.
Yeah.
What, seconds to ruin
It
it?
takes one to ruin it, like.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. And I always use the phrase cowboy customers, like, because tradesmen, it's quite common, you cowboys, cowboys, but from our perspective, there's cowboy customers too, like.
Oh, there is.
You know, and I hate to say it because I don't want to put anybody off being a customer of ours stuff, but we from our point of view too, there's cowboy customers, like, there's people out there with the greatest respect, take the fucking hand out of you, like. And one example from like our point of view, like say you go out and you do a bit of work, and it's 300 quid, and you go and pick up dinner on the way home, and you're thinking, fuck, I got 300 quid and I bought dinner, but I've only got 180, and you're like, fuck off. You're like, no way.
Then you feel like,
I would never count the money in front of a customer.
I wouldn't count money in front of anybody.
And you think about it, we get paid a couple of times a day, 52 weeks in a year, and you don't count it.
No.
But I hate to say it, I wouldn't do it in front of them. But as soon as I get into the the car or the van or whatever now, I count it. I hate to say it.
And then, do you know what goes through my head? What goes through my head is if you went back to that customer says, listen,
Yeah.
you're
It's
a wee
just
bit-
awkward
You're a
then.
wee bit short. In my head already, I'm thinking that they're thinking
You fiddled it.
it wasn't short.
Yeah. So ultimately, I've just said, fuck it, it is what it is. But how many times, say over a year, and you've had to say fuck it 10, 15 times, it could be whatever.
Yeah, and
And that's not fair on us.
no, that's the hardest bit. Like you're getting your money for a day's work, and the difference between being self-employed and being employed is you might not have a full week's work that week.
I don't,
You
yeah,
know,
we genuinely don't know.
any money that you get, like personally to me, I hold on to for grim death in case
Yeah,
the work stops.
yeah.
You know, whereas if
Which
you're
it
employed,
does.
it does stop.
It ebbs and flows, it
Of course
goes
it
up
does.
and down. Like.
And I'm always, see if my bills are covered, I'm happy. I'm not one for chasing money.
No,
As long as my bills are covered, that's all that matters to me.
yeah,
If I have a wee bit extra to help me out during the month, great.
brilliant.
We'll wait for something to eat, we'll do.
Have you any like bang on examples of when you know you were kind of paid short?
Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah. Oh,
Marco was talking about it the other day, just
It was.
and it did, and then there's other ones, and I do hate to say it, like because I'm incredibly grateful for all my customers, like, but when we communicate, in social media or text messaging or verbally, whatever, we state price. It's in print.
Yeah.
You can scroll through now your messages and it's
Yeah.
there. So whenever you like, say it's £200, and they go, "It was 180, love, wasn't it?"
You're right. No.
No, I'm not. I'm a fucking people pleaser. I stand there and go, "I have to try and be love." You know, as if it doesn't bother me, and inside I'm going, I need to get showered. I feel dirty. I've been touched. Like.
Yeah.
We both know the price, so why are you? At least and then it's just kind of like.
What annoys me, which happened recently, is I gave a price for a job.
Yeah.
And the night before the job, the night I was packing the van, ready to go out to do this job in the morning, and my phone went, and I looked at my phone and it was the person, and I had wrote, "Listen, can you do this any cheaper?"
Ah.
And I said, "But we've already agreed a price," and I think people do forget that the price that we give, that money is not in our back pockets.
Nah, far
You
from
know, we have
it. Expenses.
expenses,
Overheads.
we have your insurance, you're maybe paying off your van,
Yeah.
you've got your machines to think of, plus your
Maintenance
chemical,
of your
the
machines.
maintenance of everything.
The quality products
See
aren't
when,
cheap.
see when all that comes out of it, you're left with a percentage. But the difference with that is, people take for granted, they're like, "Oh, he's self-employed, he's alright."
Yeah. Yeah. He's
Doesn't
sitting on the
matter
podcast having a beer
Yeah.
behind me.
Like I've got my full-time job, I'm guaranteed that wage, no matter whether I have a shit day or
Yeah.
a good day, I'm getting that wage at the end of the week anyway.
Yeah.
But self-employed people aren't.
No.
You know, if somebody cancels on the last minute, that's their whole day.
And,
Really.
and
How are you going to get a job in with 5 minutes notice?
yeah, I hate to say it, like, but cowboy customers too. I understand. There's people out there that have been a casualty of cowboys saying they'll do work, doing a shit job, overcharging or not turning up. I get it, but from our point of view, it works two ways. Like, there's definitely cowboy customers.
Yeah.
Well, we'll wrap things up, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, man.
So, I know Andy was a wee bit nervous,
Till the next time.
coming on, but that was an hour. Did you see it? Did you feel it?
I'll know it when I get home.
But time flies when you're having fun. I just want to thank Andy for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
I want to thank him for being a new member of Beer Club, even though he's a whiskey man. Maybe next time you come on, we'll have a whiskey.
Well,
You can educate me on that. and we'll call that a day.
Well,
Okay? Put it down, my man.
thank you very much, guys.
Until next time, foreplay.
Next time.
Good?
Yes. Spot on.
So let me save this now. Oh, let me do it.